Hey everyone, appreciate you tuning in today. What we're going to be doing today is reinstalling my wife's rear view mirror. She was driving down the street one day and it fell off. Now this mirror has the additional buttons on it there that can control the garage door, has maybe emergency calling, stuff like that on it that you can control with the little buttons. So there's a cable that comes down that we need to reconnect and all of that. I got the rear view mirror glue kit off of Amazon. I'll leave a link down below for that. So if this happens to you, I don't know how much people charge for doing this, but I know it's more than, the $10 that you would pay with this kit to just do it yourself. So you don't want it to be super hot out or super cold out when you do this, just to get a good adhesion of the mirror back to the window. I'm doing this on my 2011 Toyota Sienna, but a rear view mirror for the most part is a rear view mirror. So just going to walk you through the steps to get that done. Let's get started. All right, so the first part of this is getting everything clean, because it's still got some residual glue on there from the first time it was installed. So I'm just going to use some alcohol. Got some 99% alcohol here, and I'll leave a link for this as well. And I'm just going to clean off this little piece and the window itself. Now my window has a little black pad that kind of shows where the mirror goes. If yours doesn't have that, you probably want to, before you clean this off, put a mark on the outside of the window. Just outline where this little piece is supposed to go on the window before you clean it off, because that's going to let you know exactly where it needs to line up when you go to glue it up there afterwards. Mine is shaped a specific way, and I have this little outline so I know exactly where it needs to go. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to put it back right where it was before. Now the only tool that you're going to need for this is an Allen wrench, because there's a screw right here that holds this little plate to the mirror itself. Now it's important that you understand the direction this faces, the orientation it is to the mirror and to the window, so that when you go to put it back on, when you glue it to the window, you glue it the right way, so that you can then slide the mirror down onto it once it has cured. So very, very careful. Make sure you know which direction this goes, where it goes on the window, before you loosen that screw and take it off. It should unscrew pretty easily, and then this plate should just slide right out like so. Remember which direction it came out, so you know which side of it faces the mirror and which side of it fits up against the window. Don't get confused on that, because you glue it up there the wrong way and it's not going to work. So I'm just using, like I said, some alcohol and Q-tip here, cotton swab, sorry, and then I'm just wiping down this piece. Just get as much of that, any sort of grime, any sort of glue that might still be on there. Get that cleaned off, and then do the same thing for the window. The reason I'm using alcohol on this, because alcohol dries very quickly, and it's not going to leave behind any sort of residue or anything that could potentially cause that glue not to stick like it should. So that should dry very quickly and evaporate, and then we should be ready to go back with the glue. Here's the kit I bought, High Bond, which by 3M, specifically for rear view mirrors. This has high temperature variation. You think about sitting right on the windshield. You're going to have highs, hots, colds, a lot of variation in temperature. You want to make sure you're using the right stuff to do this. So this is what I got. And this comes in two parts. It comes with the activator and it comes with the adhesive. All right, I'm getting the activator out here. This here, and then we're going to screw it down on. Now, this activator has a blue dye in it. You do not want to get this on your seats. You don't want to get it on your dash, your hands, anything like that. So be very careful. I'm going to duck outside the car here while I screw this together, just to make sure I don't drip it on anything important. All right, and you can see that blue dye is already kind of soaking into that little cushion thing on the end of the little foam pad on the end of the activator. You're going to put this on the window itself. Just make sure you get a good amount everywhere that this mirror needs to stick to. I'm going to put it all over our button here. Careful, don't squeeze it real hard, because it will run if you're not careful. So that's about all you need there. Just make sure you got it coated real good. We'll set that back in the little plastic thing it came out of. And then this needs to dry for 5 minutes. So I'm gonna let that dry and I'll be right back with you. I've rated the full 5 minutes for this to cure, and now we're ready to move to the next step. This adhesive has to hold this mirror onto the windshield with a consistent weight of that mirror pulling down. It's not a lot, but over time, it can cause it to fall off. So this is really strong adhesive. You don't want to get it on your fingers. If you have some gloves, I'd say wear gloves. Make sure this doesn't get on you, because it'll stick your fingers together real quick, and it's going to be real hard to get them apart again. So be very careful once you open this up. Again, super careful, and you just need 1 drop of this right on the center of your of the mounting piece. Pop the top off like that. It's got a little plug on the top that you twist off. Should leave a tiny little opening, which will then place 1 drop like so. It does not come out very fast, so at least that. Now I'm going to take this little piece and press it into position here. Just move it around a little bit just to make sure it's squished all around, and then hold it in place for 1 minute. Start a little timer on my watch here. All right, that has that stuck to the window. Let's see if I can just make sure there's no excess glue or anything that might get in the way of us mounting this, the other piece to it. Wipe off any excess there. And then we'll do a good cleaning after we get back, but that has to sit there for 15 minutes now before we hang the mirror on it. So I'm gonna leave that there and we'll come back and do that in a minute. All right, through the magic of editing, it is now 15 minutes later, and we're gonna go ahead and get this mirror attached to the windshield. Now, attaching the mirror itself is pretty simple. You just slide it down onto it and voila, mirror is in place. However, we've got a cable that we need to attach, and we have a cover that covers up that cable where it comes down out of the head unit here and down into the back of the mirror. So we're going to get all that connected up as well. The cable can only attach one direction here into that hole right there. The shape of the plug end of it can only go in one way, so just connect that up the only way that it can go in there. And then this piece actually fits down into the top of the back of this thing. So there's some little clips there that snap into the top. You can see that one side of it is finished and the other side has a channel. Obviously the wire is going to go in that channel. The finished side you want facing down, so it looks like a nice clean finish. And then this piece can expand and shorten as needed depending on how far your mirror is from the top here. So we are going to we're going to straddle the wire in that little opening there and then attach it to that part. Put it all the way down there and slide the mirror into place. Right down on top. Then we're going to make sure that wire is inside that channel all the way up, and then just pull that piece up so that it kind of slides up under the head unit there. And the last thing you got to do is just tighten up that Allen screw. Snug it up real well. And that's all there is to it. I appreciate you watching this video. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave those in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Like this video if it helped you out. It's a real simple process to get this installed. It's a very cheap kit to buy, so I wouldn't go pay somebody to reattach your mirror if it ever falls off in your car. Good luck with your next project, and we'll see you around again real soon. Thanks a lot.